Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be talking about PPPCs. We're going to talk about what they are, how to use them, and how to create and manage them efficiently using Addigy. So first off, what are PPPCs? So it stands for Privacy Preferences Policy Control. What that means is when you've installed a new app on your computer, you've probably seen it request different permissions on first launch. Sometimes, depending on the app, that could be screen control, it could be notifications, it could be mic, camera, those kind of things that'll pop up. So what this does is it gives us a level of control over those to either allow them, deny them, or to let standard users approve those. This accomplishes two things. One, it lets you lock down your security if you know you don't want certain apps to have certain privileges. And two, it makes it a more streamlined experience for the end user. So they don't have to worry about giving any of those controls, especially if they're standard users and in some cases wouldn't be able to give those controls to themselves. So there are two main ways I want to show how to create and manage those in Addigy. The first one we're going to go over is doing it when you're building a piece of software in Addigy. And the other one will just be a standalone profile that you'd be able to deploy. So let's jump over to Addigy here. So if we go to our catalog and software, and I'm going to create a new piece of smart software, and I have a FileMaker installer I'm going to use for this. So I'm going to name it. And I'm going to upload my files. Once those are uploaded, I am going to click select. And you're going to notice up here that it says detecting apps. And what that is doing is that is going to go and find what policy control profiles it could create for you. So once it detects that, and that can take a couple of minutes depending on the size of the app. So once that's done, you can go over here under add profiles and it'll say the number of apps found. In this case, it's just one. So we click on this and it gives us the ability to add profiles. So you can also do the same process for service management and system extensions if you need to use those. But today we're just going to focus on the PPPC one. So we'll select that and click create profiles. And then under the attached profile section, you'll now see that a FileMaker Pro PPPC is showing up. So when you expand that, you can see here are each of the different controls that we have to work with. By default, it's going to say allow on all of them. And it will, for like camera and microphone, those are the ones that you can let standard users approve. Users will still need to get prompted for those and just click allow. So that you can either prompt or deny. So basically all you need to come through here is work through your allow and deny lists and say, I want to deny calendar access. I want to deny use of the media library, but I want to allow photos and allow everything else. And once you have that the way you want it, you can deploy your software as normal. So if you add your command and click save, and you're done. So anytime this software item gets pushed out, that PPPC will be deployed alongside it. The second method is what do you do if you want to push out a PPPC for an app outside of the software installer? So that you can just use a regular MDM profile for. So if you go to MDM profiles and you do a new item, you can search for it in the list here and click on PPPC. And we're going to call this one FileMaker PPPC. And so here we have all of those same items we were looking at before as checkboxes. So you could come in here and allow or deny those individually. So let's just say we want to allow FileMaker to have access to the user's photos. So what we would do is we would check this and click add new. And then it's looking for a couple different pieces of information, and we're going to walk through how to get those. So it's looking for an identifier, the identifier type, and the code requirement, and whether we're allowing this or not. So we already know we want to allow this in this case, so we're going to click allowed. If you want to control this and you want to deny it, you would still put all this information in. You would just not check that allowed button. So let's go try to find these pieces of information, and we're going to start with the identifier. So we're going to open up terminal. We're going to then use this command, which is code sign with the DV option to the path of our app. If we run that, we get this readout. So what we're concerned about in here first is the identifier. So if we look for that, yep, it's identifier. So it's com.filemaker.client.pro12. So we're going to copy that and we're going to put that in the identifier field. So next thing we need to get is the code requirement. So we get that from running a similar command, which is code sign option DR and then a space and another hyphen and then the path of our app. So it'll look something like this depending on where your app is living. And that, if we expand this out to make it a little easier to read, what we're looking for is the output after designated. So if we look at designated here, we're looking for everything for this identifier all the way down to the end. And we're going to take this whole string and we're going to paste it in there. The only other option we need to set here is we are not using a static code, so that will be unchecked. And then if you need to add those same pieces of information to anything else, you can do that as well. So for example, if we want to add access to reminders, it's the same process. We just take these same pieces of information and put them in there. So once you have those set all the way you want them, all you have to do is click Create Profile and deploy that using the three-dot menu how you normally would. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions about this process with PPPCs, with Addigy in general, or Mac management and MDM in general, feel free to reach out to me. We'd love to help you and your business come up with a solution for those. I can be reached at Marshall_CIT on the Mac Admin Slack channel, via email at marshall@cranstoninc.com, or on our website, cranstonit.com. Thanks so much for watching.